Dr. Amelia Chen stood by her office window, looking out at San Francisco as the city lights twinkled on. The Golden Gate Bridge, the city's icon, sparkled like a golden-orange ribbon draped across the bay, reflecting shimmering lights onto the calm water. Each tiny light on the bridge was like a star falling to the ground, creating a magical, breathtaking scene. But in Amelia's heart, a vast emptiness remained, an unhealing scar. Amelia was a talented cardiologist, respected by her colleagues and beloved by her patients. She had it all: a successful career, a graceful appearance, and a compassionate heart. But only she knew that deep down, she still carried a simmering pain. 2 years ago, her life had fallen apart. She was pregnant with her first child with the man she trusted, David. Happiness seemed complete until the cruel truth was exposed. David had an affair with her own sister, Emily. The shock was so immense that Amelia miscarried. The pain of losing her child, the pain of being betrayed by the two people she loved most, transformed her. She threw herself into her work, burying herself in surgeries and sleepless nights to forget the cruel reality. Emily, her sister, had always been a fragile girl, in need of protection. Amelia had always loved and sheltered her. She never imagined that the very sister she trusted wholeheartedly could stab her heart with such a fatal blow. David, the man she once thought was her destiny, had woven a cruel web of deceit with Emily. After the shock, Amelia cut off all contact with both of them. She moved to a small apartment in the suburbs, far from the painful memories. Work was the only medicine that kept her going. Whenever she put on her white lab coat and saw the hopeful eyes of her patients, she found a little meaning in her life. She became a doctor so dedicated that she forgot herself, forgot meals, forgot sleep. Colleagues worried about her, but no one dared to touch Amelia's deep wound. During long, sleepless nights, the images of David and Emily haunted her mind. Bitterness, humiliation, and the feeling of betrayal gnawed at her little by little. She wondered if she had done something wrong, if she had been too naive, too trusting. These unanswered questions deeply spun in her soul, turning her into an empty shell, knowing only work and more work. She feared moments alone, feared facing herself in the mirror, because she saw a haggard, lost woman who was no longer the Amelia of old. She tried to build an invisible wall around herself, isolating herself from the outside world, not allowing anyone to touch her inner wound again. Her smile became forced, her eyes filled with an unhidden sadness. She no longer believed in love, in sincerity, in anything that could bring happiness. One late afternoon, as the city sank into quiet darkness, Amelia received an urgent call from the hospital. A new patient had been admitted in critical condition, needing immediate surgery. She rushed to the hospital, her heart pounding not from worry for the patient, but from a strange premonition. She did not know that this fated encounter would change her life forever. The patient was a middle-aged man, about 50 years old, with distinguished salt and pepper hair and deep eyes that held a hidden sorrow. He was William Sterling, a renowned business magnate who lived reclusively and rarely appeared in public. William was admitted due to an acute heart attack. When Amelia entered the patient's room, William lay in bed, his face pale but still radiating a resolute calm. Their eyes met. In that moment, Amelia felt a strange connection, as if they had known each other for a very long time. He was not an ordinary patient. His eyes contained a similar pain to hers, a pain that could not be put into words. Amelia, with the keen intuition of a doctor and an experienced woman, immediately recognized the deep loneliness and hurt hidden beneath William's calm exterior. She couldn't explain it, but some invisible thread pulled them closer. The surgery went smoothly. Amelia worked tirelessly with all her talent and dedication. She focused completely on every beat of William's heart, on every stitch, as if she wanted to use work to banish all other thoughts from her mind. After the surgery, William recovered quickly. During his hospital stay, Amelia often visited him, not only as a doctor, but also as a friend. They talked about life, about past sorrows, and about unfulfilled dreams. William told Amelia his story. He had lost his wife and daughter to severe obstetric complications many years ago. His wife, Elizabeth, was a beautiful, gentle woman, and his daughter, Lily, was a tiny angel. Their deaths plunged William into the abyss of despair. He gave up everything, lived in seclusion, focusing only on work to forget the pain. He described the pain of loss as a bottomless pit, swallowing all joy, all hope. He had once thought that his life would forever be steeped in darkness, never able to find light again. Listening to William's story, Amelia felt a deep empathy. They were both people carrying unhealing scars, irreplaceable losses. William's sharing was not just a narration, but a peeling back of layers of his soul, revealing the wounds he had tried to hide for so long. Amelia felt the sincerity in his every word, and it comforted her in a strange way. They found solace in each other. William admired Amelia's dedication and talent, while Amelia was drawn to William's strength and resilience, hidden beneath his cool exterior. Their conversations gradually turned into informal dates. They walked together in Golden Gate Park, where tall, ancient trees reached for the sky, and vibrant pink tulip beds bloomed by the shimmering lake. The morning sun filtered through the leaves, creating sparkling streaks of light on the lake's surface, making the scenery poetic and strangely peaceful. During these walks, they not only admired the scenery, but also shared their deepest thoughts. Amelia gradually opened up, telling William about the pain of betrayal, about the loss of her unborn child. William listened to her with full understanding, without judgment, without pity. He was simply there, a solid support for her. His presence was like a cool breeze blowing through Amelia's parched soul, bringing a little warmth and hope. After William was discharged from the hospital, he invited Amelia on a long trip to relax and heal their souls. Their first destination was New York, where the Statue of Liberty stood majestically in the sea, a symbol of hope and freedom. From above, the Statue of Liberty appeared majestic and grand, like a great mother welcoming arriving ships with open arms. Surrounding the statue was the deep blue sea, shimmering under the sunlight, creating a beautiful tableau. They sailed around the Statue of Liberty together, gazing at the bustling New York City from afar. Amelia felt much lighter in William's presence. He didn't try to fill the emptiness in her heart with empty platitudes, but simply stayed by her side, listened to her, and shared his own pains. William's silence was sometimes more meaningful than 1,000 words. It showed Amelia that she was not alone in her pain, that there was someone who understood and accepted her with all the scars in her soul. She began to realize that sharing pain didn't make it bigger. On the contrary, it helped to alleviate it. After New York, they flew to Paris, the city of love and light. The Eiffel Tower stood majestically against the deep blue sky, surrounded by vibrant red autumn foliage. The golden sunlight shone on the tower, making it shimmer magically. At the foot of the tower, the calm Seine River flowed by, reflecting the clear blue sky and ancient trees. They walked together along the Seine, watching boats glide gently on the water and couples lovingly holding hands under the trees. William was not just a companion, he was also a guide, helping Amelia rediscover the beauty of life. He took her to charming small cafes where they enjoyed fragrant coffee and delicious pastries. He led her to art museums where they admired humanity's great works together. He also took her to local markets where they immersed themselves in the bustling atmosphere and savored unique street food. William constantly encouraged Amelia to try new things, from tasting an unfamiliar dish to joining an impromptu dance on the street. He helped her break free from the safe shell she had created for herself, helping her feel the joy of discovery and experience again. The trip to Paris was a turning point in Amelia's life. She began to open her heart more, to feel the small joys in life again. She realized that no matter how painful the past, life still held many beautiful things worth cherishing. She began to see color return to her world, no longer the gray tones of sadness. Her smile became more genuine. Her eyes sparkled with joy. She was no longer afraid to think about the future, but began to dream of good things. Their final stop was the Azores, a beautiful archipelago in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. Here, lush green mountains, crystal clear lakes, and blooming hydrangea fields stretched out. The natural scenery in the Azores was magnificent and poetic. Rolling mountains embraced deep blue lakes reflecting the clear sky and fluffy white clouds. Fields of hydrangeas bloomed profusely, creating a vast blue-purple carpet stretching to the horizon. They rented a small house by the sea where they could watch the sunrise and sunset every day. Amelia and William hiked together on winding trails, discovering hidden waterfalls and mysterious caves. They swam together in the clear blue sea, feeling the refreshing coolness of the ocean. They also cooked simple but cozy meals together, sharing stories and laughter. During their days in the Azores, Amelia and William spent time reflecting on their lives. Amelia realized that the pain of losing her child and the betrayal had made her close her heart. But now, William had helped her open it again. She felt a deep sense of peace when she was with him, a feeling she had lost for a long time. William felt the same way. He had once thought he could never love again, but Amelia had arrived, bringing light and hope into his life. He realized that love was not a substitute for pain, but a way to heal it. One brilliant sunset, as the sun slowly dipped below the horizon, painting the sky red, William took Amelia's hand and said, "Amelia, I know you've been through a lot of suffering. I have too. But I believe we can heal our wounds together, build a new life together, peaceful and happy." William's words were not just a promise, but an affirmation of his belief in a brighter future. He had seen the change in Amelia, seen her eyes gradually regain their light, and he knew that she, too, was ready to move forward. Amelia looked into William's eyes, which were filled with sincerity and love. She felt her heart stir. She had once thought she could never love again, but William had arrived, bringing light and hope into her life. She nodded, tears streaming down her cheeks. These were not just tears of happiness, but tears of liberation, of letting go of the past to embrace a new future. She felt a great burden lifted from her shoulders, a sense of lightness and serenity spreading through her body. After the trip, Amelia and William returned to San Francisco. Their lives gradually returned to normal, but with many changes. Amelia was still a dedicated doctor, but she had learned to balance work and personal life. She spent more time on herself, on her hobbies, and especially on William. She started practicing yoga, reading, and spending time on outdoor activities. She realized that self-care was not selfish, but necessary for her to continue dedicating herself to her work and loved ones. William had also changed. He no longer lived as reclusively as before. He opened up more, sharing his thoughts and feelings with Amelia. He took Amelia to visit his family in a peaceful rural area where golden wheat fields stretched to the horizon. They went on weekend picnics together, tended William's beautiful small garden, and enjoyed the simple moments of life. William, who once only buried himself in work to escape pain, now found joy in the smallest things. He learned to savor every moment, every breath, every ray of morning sunlight. William's family was warm and hospitable. They welcomed Amelia like a member of their family. William's mother, a benevolent woman, often told Amelia stories about Elizabeth and Lily, about their beautiful memories. She told Amelia that she was very happy William had found happiness again. Amelia felt the sincerity and love from William's family, something she had longed for a very long time. She no longer felt lonely, but was enveloped by love and care. Amelia and William did not rush into marriage. They wanted to take time to get to know each other better, to build a solid foundation for their love. They went through life's ups and downs together, overcoming difficulties. They learned to trust each other, to forgive past mistakes, and to love each other completely. Each day, their love grew deeper and stronger. They were not just lovers, but soulmates, solid pillars of support for each other. One day, as they sat on the porch swing watching the sunset, William proposed to Amelia. He didn't get down on one knee. There were no flowers or sparkling diamond rings. He simply held her hand, looked straight into her eyes, and said, "Amelia, will you marry me? I can't promise you a life without storms, but I promise to always be by your side, to overcome all difficulties with you, and to build a home filled with love with you." William's proposal was not flowery, but it touched Amelia's heart with its sincerity and simplicity. It was not a grand promise, but a practical, meaningful commitment. Amelia smiled, tears of happiness streaming down her cheeks. She nodded. It was a simple proposal, yet full of meaning. It was not just a promise of marriage, but a promise of a peaceful, happy life where two once broken hearts found healing and true love. She knew this was the man she had been waiting for, the one who would write new chapters of her life with her. Amelia and William's wedding was intimate and simple at a small church in the countryside. There was no extravagance, no distinguished guests, only family and their closest friends. Amelia wore a pristine white wedding dress, simple yet elegant. William wore a sophisticated suit, his eyes filled with happiness. On their wedding day, both felt a strange peace. They no longer had worries, no haunting memories of the past, but only joy and hope for a bright future. After the wedding, they lived in William's small house in the countryside. Amelia continued her work as a doctor, but she reduced her workload to have more time for her family. William also spent more time with Amelia and on his hobbies. They gardened together, raised chickens, and tended their beautiful small garden. They read books together, listened to music, and talked about everything. Their lives became simpler but full of meaning. Every morning they woke up together, watched the sunrise, and enjoyed breakfast they prepared themselves. Every evening they sat by the fireplace, reading or talking, sharing the day's stories. Their lives flowed peacefully and happily. Amelia was no longer haunted by the pains of the past. She had learned to forgive Emily and David, not because she forgot what they had done, but because she didn't want hatred to destroy her life. She understood that forgiveness was the best way to free herself from the burden of the past. The process of forgiveness was not easy. There were nights Amelia lay awake, times when resentment resurfaced. But then, looking into William's loving eyes, seeing the peace in her current life, she realized that holding on to hatred only hurt herself. She chose to let go so her soul could be free. William also found peace in his soul. He no longer lived with the torment of his wife and daughter's deaths. He knew that Elizabeth and Lily would always be in his heart, and he would always love them. But he also knew that life went on, and he needed to live every moment to the fullest. He had once thought he could never overcome that pain, but Amelia helped him realize that love and life were still there, and he deserved to be happy. He learned to accept pain as a part of life and turn it into motivation to live more meaningfully. Many years later, Amelia and William had a beautiful daughter named Grace. Grace was a lovely, intelligent, and lively girl. She brought joy and laughter to the whole family. Amelia and William taught Grace about love, forgiveness, and the beauty of life. Grace grew up in a family filled with love and understanding. She was living proof of love overcoming all difficulties, a symbol of hope and healing. Amelia and William's lives are a testament that no matter how difficult life's challenges, we can still find happiness and peace. It's important to know how to heal our wounds, how to forgive, and how to cherish life's simple moments. Their story is not a fairy tale, but a true story of love, healing, and hope. It shows us that love can mend all wounds, and life always has wonders waiting for us to discover. As the last rays of the fading day descended, painting the sky golden, Amelia and William sat together on their porch, watching Grace play in the garden. Their daughter's clear laughter echoed through the air, blending with the chirping of birds and the rustling of wind through the leaves. It was a peaceful, complete, and happy moment. They knew their journey was still long, but they would always be together, continuing down the road ahead with hearts full of love and hope.